They think that certain things like this are impossible to happen, to the point where they be like, oh, something ain't right about this, or just making up certain conspiracies that don't need to be made. What's up, y'all? It's your girl B Octavia, and I am back with another video. Welcome to my channel. I want to jump right into what I'm speaking about. And what I'm speaking about is Bob Saget and his cause of death. I will also be speaking on society's reaction to it and why it rubbed me the wrong way. Bob Saget passed away last month. His autopsy came out because I was wondering what happened. You know what I'm saying? I was praying and hoping that it wasn't no drugs or alcohol involved. His autopsy revealed that he suffered from head trauma, and a lot of people's reaction was in disbelief. So the report says that he had an unwitnessed accident. Only he was in the room, in the vicinity, things like that. And he hit his head on the back of something, causing a abrasion. As a result of that incident, it caused a skull fracture, and it also developed blood on the brain, which is not good. Now, as we do, all of us have had certain incidents where we'll bump our head on a cabinet, something that happens in a split second, and you brush it off, you don't think nothing of it. It may hurt a little bit, but we've learned to just brush things off. So the coroner believes that that's what happened. He thought nothing of it and went to sleep, and unfortunately passed away in his sleep. People's reaction rubbed me the wrong way because I'm tired of with anybody's death, especially like a celebrity. They think that certain things like this are impossible to happen, to the point where they be like, oh, something ain't right about this, or just making up certain conspiracies that don't need to be made. If the family came out with a statement and y'all still not accepting what was said by the family, then who can come out and say something that you'll believe? That's what I feel like rubs me the wrong way about it. Like, what will y'all believe? Y'all believe when somebody gets shot and killed, and sometimes people don't even believe that. People still don't believe that XXXTentacion is dead. People don't believe that Tupac is dead. For people to think that this can't happen and it has happened before, it's just like, where have y'all been, under a rock? Like, I forget her name, please excuse me, but the mother from The Parent Trap, this happened to her too. She was on a skiing trip and she fell and hit her head on something, and she thought nothing of it. You know what I'm saying? And unfortunately, she did not recover from that injury. She was married to Liam Neeson. They had a few kids together and things like that. So that was very tragic, and I automatically thought of that when the autopsy came out on Bob Saget. He was way too young. You know what I'm saying? And it should teach everybody a lesson not to overwork themselves or work themselves too hard, even if it's something that you love doing. He probably was already exhausted before even going into that hotel. Unwinding and washing your face and trying to do normal things. Sometimes anybody injures themselves when they are exhausted, like purely exhausted. And that goes into like your thought process, like, well, if my head is hurting tomorrow, I'll deal with it. But a lot of us have made the decision to go to sleep after something along the lines of a head injury or just injuring yourself, period, and you wake up and it hurt even worse when you thought that it was going to diminish, the pain was going to diminish and decrease and cease. But it is a huge lesson not to brush injuries off, you know, especially because all of us are getting older. You know, we in my generation may not be in our 60s, but that doesn't mean that something like this can't happen. It can happen to anybody of any age. And, you know, sometimes when traveling, you should travel with somebody, but you can't say that and be like, oh, we had our own rooms. You know what I'm saying? So anything like this can happen. And it's tragic that it had to happen to anybody, let alone Bob Saget. And that's what bothers me about the conspiracies. Bob Saget has never been or shown that he was a bad person in any type of way, you know, for him to be any type of target. So why y'all trying to make it seem like somebody took him out, you know, when this is a natural cause? It is natural for your brain to react and things to happen on the inside that you don't even know is happening. A lot of people that saying these conspiracies and, oh, something ain't right. You too young to even realize anatomy, you know, the science of the body and things like that, biology. You're not even old enough to realize that things like this do happen, and it does happen, unfortunately, to good people. Bob Saget, real life, and I'm from the ghetto, okay? Bob Saget was my TV dad. He was the type of dad that I always wanted. And here it is, here's the truth. You know what I'm saying? Looking at Full House, I mean, a lot of people around my age growing up wasn't watching stuff like that. They was watching the Boondocks and this and that. And I was, you know, here and there with the Boondocks. But to see like a wholesome family on TV, no matter the race, it's nothing better than that, you know? And if you come from dysfunction and toxicity, you should want to see good things, and you should want to see an example of a good family. I think the dynamic of that show, it was and forever will be classic, because you cannot make that shit up again. It's no way that you can put characters in this position and put these men in this role and they embody it like Bob Saget did and like John Stamos did. And the other guy, excuse me, his name will be up here. But neither here nor there, Bob Saget is my TV dad. He the only one that I would really say, you know, is a wholeheartedly good person. And not only that, like a role model that if you was his daughter or his fake daughter, you know what I'm saying, on a TV show, it's no way that you can't feel that energy and want to reciprocate that energy of goodness. I think that he embodied it because it was so effortless for him to be a good dad and show good character traits. And, you know, it was his tone. It was everything. Bob Saget was everything on Full House. It was his cleanliness. Like, I loved it. If you watched the show like I did, and like me and my siblings did, you didn't even realize that it wasn't a mother in the house. He was on top of everything, you know? So, much respect to Bob Saget for that role that he played, but the role that he played in people's lives that he don't even know, you know? In a lot of children's lives, and now we not children no more. And I wish I could have, you know, crossed paths with him and told him exactly how he motivated me as a parent, as a person, you know. But stop it with the conspiracies, you know. If you don't know about head trauma and you don't know certain things about how life works, You need to study that before you speak out and say this is a conspiracy and that. I don't think it is. You know, unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, because conspiracies are headaches to me. You know, I break down a conspiracy here or there, but some people just don't be making sense, and it be a stretch. You know, you got to think of a lot of things when it comes to a conspiracy. What really doesn't make sense about this? What doesn't make sense? Does it not make sense that y'all didn't see him bump his head? Does it, what do y'all need? You know what I'm saying? Social media just be going too far with they detective work, you know, or lack thereof, because they not really studying the severity of the situation. And, you know, I bet you it's irritating for the family. Every person's death, especially celebrities, does not need conspiracy theories. His funeral was recently, so let him rest in peace. You know what I'm saying? It's already confusing enough, probably to him, that he died in his sleep. You know, that's probably confusing in itself. So just let him rest in peace. Stop thinking it's this or that, and really look at the autopsy. Research head trauma and get back to me. It's your girl, B. Octavia. Thank y'all for watching. Thank you for tuning in. And I will see y'all in my next one.